you keep saying that Florida Atlantic is like a lesser version of San Diego State. And here's where I'm going to push back on that, and I'm curious your take. I think that San Diego State I think Florida Atlantic is a significantly more skilled offensive team.
I agree.
So I'm kind of looking at this very similarly to the matchup with Florida Atlantic. I'm a mess right now. The matchup that they had with Tennessee in the Sweet 16, where we all said, I think they're going to get big boyed. I think they're going to get out physical. I think that they're not going to be tough enough to deal with it. Turns out they were tough enough, and then they made enough shots down the stretch to be able to pull away and win that game. I think they won by like 9, right? So where do you stand on Florida Atlantic versus San Diego State? Because I think that we're going to see FAU in the national title game.
Wouldn't that be nuts? They've been consistent all year, guys. I think that's one thing that it's kind of throwing people off is like, where did this team come from? Well, they've been here all year. And I love Dagan's dad that predicted FAU and then made sure to talk shit to us on Twitter. My favorite part of the weekend. And now we got to get Chris Hughes on the show before the end of the weekend. That's not debatable. Got to get him on. Another thing, throughout this tournament, it seems like every time I watch FAU play, they're on the offensive glass and they're making a toughness play and they're taking a charge or they're getting out. They're the first team on the floor. That's more of what I'm insinuating, as opposed to they play the exact same style. Offensively, Florida Atlantic's much, much better. They have more guys, more skill that can play, more guys that can shoot the 3 ball. San Diego State, they just find ways to make you be bad on offense. And they make you be bad consistently on offense. The fact of the matter is, if Florida Atlantic's bad, they're going to have that defense really show up, and they can. They're 29th in the country in defensive efficiency. I understand all that. It's just San Diego State's just a little bigger and a little older and a little more physical. That's kind of what I'm alluding to.
Yeah, and what they do really well is they make you take a lot of bad threes, right? If you look at their numbers, they should make you shoot a lot of threes, right? Which normally isn't what you want to do. The general thinking, and UConn kind of subscribes to this, and there's a lot of other really good defenses that subscribe to this, is you just don't let teams shoot threes. You run them off the 3-point line, and you dare them to challenge someone like a Nathan Mensah at the rim. Whereas what San Diego State does is they kind of force you into taking a lot of tough threes because they don't let you get by them. They don't let you dribble past them. They a lot of it is, I've said this before, but it's like the hand checking, it's shucking cutters. They play a physical brand of basketball where they kind of dare referees to make a foul call on every possession, and they're just not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. So I do think that a lot of it is going to come down to, can Florida Atlantic create, John? Can they get into the lane? Can they get a paint touch and kick the ball out so someone gets a chance at a closeout or an open 3? And I think that they have enough skilled guys on that perimeter to be able to do it. Where do you stand?
I think they absolutely do. And the fact that they're not over-reliant on 1 or 2 pieces is really good for them. They have the depth factor. They have the playmaking ability to get in the lane. And, guys, they've got this makeup that has allowed them to be incredibly poised against great defensive teams. Like, San Diego State's a team of grown men, and there's no question about their toughness, and about Nathan Mensah, and about Agueka Rope, who's, I think, has been fantastic in this tournament in the doses that he's played. But, like, you think FAU is going to be faced by San Diego State having gotten through Tennessee and Kansas State? I don't think so. And when I look at this team, what I like about them is that from game to game, like, John L. Davis shot 3 for 9 against Tennessee. And Florida Atlantic had that game won. They really did. They're a group that I think Elijah Martin in this tournament has gotten steadily better, is so comfortable being able to make a move at 6'2", the ability to hit shots off the dribble. He's efficient at the same time. Brian Greenlee, to me, is maybe the most underrated guy on this team, because he's a guy that I think he stepped up in the most key situations for this Owls team to have 16 points in just 21 minutes. And that's just it. Against San Diego State, you better have depth. And the Owls play 9 guys at 15-plus minutes. Creighton plays 5 guys at 30-plus minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big difference. Creighton's a really good team, but Creighton did not have depth. And it ended up leading in the last 5 minutes of that game. Did you see Creighton huffing and puffing? They were struggling to finish the game.
Yep.
Dusty May's got a team where if he says, you know what, Elijah Martin, I just don't see it right now. I'm going to throw in Michael Forrest or Nick Boyd. It's not working out for you. Brandon Weatherspoon gets a look or Jalen Gaffney gets a look. They have a well-rounded nature to them. That's what it's going to take to beat the Aztecs. You got to hit some perimeter shots. I mean, 18% from three. That's no coincidence. That's how great San Diego State pressures the ball. But I like the way that this team is designed. I think they've got a formula to beat San Diego State. So I am siding with you, Mr. Dauster. I like FAU. I think they belong, and I think they will find a way to win this game. And I got to tell you guys, like, San Diego State, as much as they're a grinded-out rugby-style team, and I'm not anti-Aztecs. I said it way back in October when we were previewing the season. I thought this could be the year of the Aztec, and it has been. But on the offensive end of the basketball, who do I trust more? Honestly, I trust FAU more than I trust San Diego State.
Yeah, the depth thing is key, Tio. I think that the depth thing is key for Florida Atlantic.
I don't know, though. San Diego State, they have a different guy scoring. Like Lamont Butler, Trammell will get loose. Matt Bradley will get loose. You know, Jaden Ledee, like.
Not for nothing. Bradley's been bad. Sorry to cut you off. Bradley's been bad his last 3 games.
Well, to me, that's what's so impressive about this group is they're coming off of a win over Furman, and win over Alabama. And look, how about this? In the second weekend, Matt Bradley had a combined 8 points and was 3 for 14 from the floor.
Like, that's not going to last for very long.
3 for 17.
3 for 17 from the floor. And San Diego State beat Alabama, and they beat Creighton in the process. It's really,
he's 6 for his last 27. He's 6 for his last 27. So you're right.
But my point is more that is that I don't think that you're going to be able to wear Florida Atlantic down the way that San Diego State was able to wear Creighton down. I think that they have more skilled guys and more balance, but you know, at the end of the day, Alabama's got some depth too, and San Diego State was able to wear them down. I think what's going to be really interesting to me is just kind of how the guards handle that ball pressure. Today's episode is presented by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play college basketball's pick'em, where you get real cash prizes simply by picking player stats in this weekend's games. In pick'em, all you do is pick whether a player will go higher or lower in Underdog's projected totals. That's points, rebounds, whatever. If you're like me and you think Marquise Noel is going to go absolutely nuts this weekend, pick higher on his points projection, throw in a couple of other picks, and if you hit them all, you can win 20 times your money on a single game. Underdog's slick mobile app is easy enough that dummies like Jeff Goodman have even figured it out. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and use the code FIELD, FIELD, to get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Get in on the madness now.